From Charlotte, been here most of my life. Lived in Raleigh for a little bit, born in Atlanta, but since I was 4 years old, grew up here in Charlotte. Been here since. Skateboarding a little over 28 years, pretty much non-stop, except for injuries, but never been off the board more than like a month or so because of injuries, so 28 years pretty much straight. Best time skating, maybe in high school, but really it's been fun. All 28 years has never been bad, and probably the best ever did as far as competitively. It was like in 2000, went to the bands amateur vert finals and got to skate with Sean White. That was pretty cool. He beat me and he was like 13. I was 27. That kind of sucked, but it's Sean White. So what are you gonna do? But I got ninth place in that contest. He got fourth, but to skate with him, that was pretty sweet. That was cool. But yeah, he kicked my ass.
Dude, who cares, man? That dude's like not
This
even
one hairs
real.
over my head is like 13.
He's not even real. Racing and stuff like
Yeah, so basically a little history in Charlotte. I first started, it was like 1985. Vert ramps were all the rage, and Bones Brigade was real big and all that good stuff. And we basically had tons of backyard ramps growing up. Had a ramp in Weddington called the Ramp Farm that was there for about 8 years, and that was pretty sweet. The Deeses his family had 50 acres of land. They had a car junkyard, and they let us build a vert ramp and a mini ramp out there. We got to keep it out there for 8 years. So it was like free land for 8 years, freaking awesome, middle of nowhere. And they had a car junkyard in the backyard, so they didn't really care if they had a vert ramp in their backyard too. And that was pretty sick, and that was kind of unique to have free land for 8 years. And then when they moved, they had to sell their land. During that time, for about 5 years, we were like working with Mecklenburg County Park and Rec, and I kind of started a petition a long time ago. Went to probably 200 Park and Rec meetings. It was a huge pain, but we finally got Grayson built, and that was pretty cool to see that come to life. And that opened up a few months after the vert ramp shut down in Weddington. So to go from that ramp to Grayson was pretty sweet. And Tom Risser, he's had his bowl for 13 years now, and that's been awesome. We got this new bowl here. So I don't know, as long as there's terrain to ride, I'll keep riding. When I first started, street skating was street plants and launch ramps, so it's a lot different than it is today. And basically it was just people doing ho-hos, walking on their hands, which I thought was kind of a joke.
Okay.
I was in the launch ramp scene pretty heavy, and rail slides, and then handrails started coming about. But once I got past 4 stairs, I started getting out of that game. I didn't have the what's for that, but and then over the years, went from the 80s to everything big to early 90s, everything microscopic, small. So when like wheels got this big, they were like this, and 2 years later they were like this, and that was kind of weird. So I'm glad to see over the past 15 years it's just kind of opened up to be a little bit of everything. Pretty much you can skate anything, doesn't really matter, and everything's not really considered cool or uncool. It's just it's all mutually appreciated. It's just, hey, if it's good skateboarding, it's good skateboarding.
Exactly.
Ramps and bowls, but my favorite scene is definitely backyards, whether it's a pool or a bowl or a mini ramp or a vert ramp, whatever. The backyard scene's pretty much hard to beat. So if you haven't skated in a backyard much, find a backyard spot, take a 6-pack with you, have a good time. Favorite pros growing up and today, all-time favorite skateboarder, all-time hands down, Chris Miller. Bottom line, best skateboarder, smoothest skateboarder ever. Christian Hosoi, all-time, one of my all-time favorites. Obviously, Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk had the tricks. Hosoi had the style. Miller had both. Advice maybe is just have fun. The animal chin way. Just skate for fun. It's not about getting sponsored. Whatever. It really doesn't matter. I mean, as long as you're having fun. End of the day, that's all that matters. I saw all these guys in the late 80s, early 90s that were unreal, but when skateboarding died, they quit. And I'm like, why? Because they were doing it to be the best. Which, not to say is a bad goal, that's a great goal, but if you're not having fun doing it, then, you probably won't skate for very long. Cause,
Seems like a job.
So if you do it for fun, you'll ride forever.